Just 98 days after the birth of her son last March, Kate Sippel had a sudden and shocking health scare.
My whole body just hit the ground like a big lump.
Almost like a paralysis?
Yes, completely.
She was just 37. She knew something was wrong, which is why she was surprised by the reaction she got when she met with doctors.
Once you got to the hospital, what did they tell you?
They pretty much told me I had conversion disorder, which is where you put stress into clinical signs.
So doctors effectively said, this is all in your head?
Yes.
After going to 2 different doctors, she was finally able to see a neurologist who ordered an emergency MRI.
And finally, the 3rd doctor, the neurologist, says, something's wrong and you need to go back immediately.
Correct.
To the hospital.
Correct.
It turns out she was having 10 to 15 minor strokes per day. The diagnosis, a rare disease known as moya moya, where at least one major artery to the brain is blocked and new blood vessels form to make up for the blockage. The name moya moya, a Japanese term for puff of smoke, which is what the disease can often look like on diagnostic scans.
And they said, well, here's the medication we're going to have you on. And you'll be fine. You know, we can live with a couple TIAs here and there.
TIAs meaning those mini strokes.
Correct.
But for Kate, that risk was still too great. Frustrated and with hope waning, Kate wrote a letter to her son, unsure if she would live to raise him.
What did you say to him?
I want to be there to give you so much advice and hug and kiss you every day. I am sorry I can't be. I hope this is all for nothing and I will be able to grow old and tell you all of these things in person. I love you, your mama.
A lot of bravery.
Yeah.
Thinking of her baby boy and the family she loves, Kate refused to give up and reached out to the Cleveland Clinic, where experts say although her specific disease is rare, it is more common in women, and that strokes in general are more common than people think. In fact, every year, nearly 800,000 Americans suffer from a stroke, nearly 240,000 of them experiencing transient ischemic attacks, or TIAs, also known as mini-strokes like Katie's, which can be harder to detect and often serve as a warning for a larger stroke to come.
People and family members, they're experts on themselves.
Dr. Andrew Russman was part of the team that treated Kate at the Cleveland Clinic.
Weakness or numbness or speech difficulty or trouble with vision or balance, seek the stroke expertise in the emergency department when you're having those symptoms.
What would have happened to Kate if she didn't get the diagnosis when she did?
The fact that she didn't ignore her symptoms, that was a critical difference in preventing her from having a more disabling stroke.
For Kate, the diagnosis came just in time. In November of last year, Cleveland Clinic doctors were able to do a bypass surgery, creating a new source of blood flow to her brain. She's been stroke-free ever since.
Since the surgery?
None.
Not a single mini stroke?
No.
Do you feel any of the numbness or tingling or paralysis?
No, not at all.
What do you hope that other people take away from your story?
I hope that people realize, don't take the first opinion as it is what it is. People need to be their own advocates. They need to find someone that can help them.
Do you think that your own persistence saved your life?
100%. If I wouldn't have called, if I wouldn't have had a family support system to say, you're right, you need to do something about this, I truly do not think I would be here today.
Ooh. So a reminder to everyone watching, if you do think you might be experiencing signs of a stroke, experts really stress the FAST method. So F for face drooping, if one side of your face is uneven or numb and you're unable to do something as simple as smile evenly. And then there's A for arm weakness or numbness, S for speech difficulty. And if you're experiencing any of these, T means it's time to call 911.
Well, it's so good that she kept going back to doctors after the first or second time.
She did.
But her symptoms at first weren't so noticeable. It wasn't something that was like a big red flag, was it?
And that's what's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, she said the doctors just kind of didn't believe her. They thought it was psychosomatic. But instead, she says you really have to pay attention, because if you have tingling in just one side, like your arm or your leg, that's something to pay attention to. But also a headache that's just so severe or unrelenting. That's the type of thing that they say you should really focus on and pay attention to, and then go to your doctor and fight like Kate did.
But to your point, being an advocate. being an advocate for your own health care.
But also trust your gut.
Yes.
I mean, you know your body. If you think like, but by golly, I just know there's something wrong, trust yourself.
Exactly. No matter how old or young or how unusual you may think that is for your age bracket.
Good for her for telling that story. Thank you, Morgan.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Find your favorite recipes, celebrity interviews, uplifting stories, shop our favorite deals, and so much more with the Today app. Download it now.